How's it going? Josh Mastel here. Good to meet everybody. I'm hoping you can make it to the webinar coming up. Really excited about it. We're going to have some really cool stuff that we're going to be going over on the topic of how to build a sales team, a world-class sales team that really consistently wins and can predictably produce you the revenue, the GM, the spread that you're looking for within your staffing and recruiting business. So we're going to really cover three areas. Before we get to those, give a real quick intro on who I am. I spent 10 years in the IT staffing business, working for some companies. I traveled around the country and opened up new offices and new markets and built teams from the ground up. I was fortunate enough to work for some really successful teams that did some really, really good work. Failed a lot along the way, learned a ton of mistakes, and gratefully looking back over my 10-year career in the business, the teams that I was a part of generated about $500 million in total revenue. So we really figured out the secret sauce into what it takes to be a really successful staffing business from a sales perspective and how to build a really strong sales team. So we're going to look at three areas that I want you to take away from the webinar. I think they'll be really helpful and impactful for you in your business as you're building your sales teams or improving teams you already have. Number one, we're going to look into what does it take to get your sales team to drastically increase their activity, and how important is activity? How many managers do you actually know and have relationships with? There's some really, really key things we can do with your account managers to make sure they're meeting more and more people. Number two, what can we do to double your spread or double your GM? When I do consulting work with any kind of staffing companies, the first question I ask them is, what would it take for us to double your spread this year or double your GM this year? We're going to look into some areas I go down and some drastic improvements we can make via a couple of really small triggers to help you accomplish that. And the third thing is, what if I told you that you could close over 50% of the requirements that your sales team brings in? How much would your recruiters love that? So imagine bringing in 100 recs in a quarter and filling 51 of them. My teams ran at about the 60 to 70% range in terms of our closing ratio. We're going to go through my exact formula and playbook for exactly how I run my teams to make sure that we're closing above 50% in the closing ratio. And the bonus at the end of the webinar, I'm going to give everybody who attends. I have a guide that I use in the staffing business that I've used throughout my career of exactly how to guarantee that you hit your next quarter's goal. So if you have a goal for next quarter, this guide runs you exactly through everything you need to be thinking about, down to the day-to-day activities of what it would take for you to guarantee you hit your goal. It's great for yourself as a business owner. It's great for sales managers. It's great for account managers and recruiters. It's a great exercise for everybody. So I'm going to give you that guide as a PDF at the end. You can take it and use it on your own. So join us in the webinar. Looking forward to it. I'm going to begin as Josh, and don't be shy. Feel free to hop in.